What we have here is a failure to communicate. When I asked for ground support, this is not what I was talking about. Don Ricketts, what church do you belong to?
Fairfax Assembly.
J.R. Bangalore, what church do you belong to?
Fairfax Assembly.
Richard Sanchez, which church do you belong to?
Fairfax Assembly.
There's only two things I know that come from Fairfax Assembly: Christian men and Christian women. Pastor, I don't see these guys wearing any dresses, so I'm assuming that they're Christian men. I'm here to address the men in this church. You women can go about and do your womanly things. Men, we have been called for a training op. It is called PK08. Our orders are as follows. On 27 June 2008, we will join units from the western United States in an invasion exercise. We will invade and take over the Save Mart Center in Fresno, California. We will maintain that control for 2 days. During those 2 days, we will receive training for battle of the worst kind, spiritual battle. Make no mistake about it. We are in a very real and dangerous battle. We are in a battle for our lives and our souls. We are attacked daily at work, at school, at the gym, and at home. This enemy is attacking our wives, our children, our family, and our friends. Our enemy uses 3 tactics. John 10:10 says, the enemy comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. Dr. Tom Forston, President and CEO of Promise Keeper, said the following: the concept of manhood is an assault in our culture. Fewer and fewer children are being raised under the influence of their fathers and without a constructive masculine role model. We need help with our identity and priorities, and we will address these issues like no other experience. From the opening downbeat of the drums to the closing amen, the 2008 Promise Keepers Conference is designed to speak directly to the minds and hearts of men. In the strongest possible terms, the sessions will outline the spiritual, moral, and intellectual territory that must be claimed if men are to fulfill their potential and destiny. These sessions are framed for battle planning, the battle for eternity, the battle for absolutes, the battle for growth, the battle for sexual freedom, the battle for priorities, and the battle for influence. When a soldier goes out on the battlefield, he goes not knowing if he's going to come home, whether he's going to live or die, or whether he's going to win or lose. That in battles of World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Enduring Freedom, or any number of battles. We, however, are promised victory. Psalm 60:12 says, with God we will gain victory, and He will trample down our enemies. To win, we must use what our commander gave us. Lance Corporal Graham, who is our commander?
God.
He told us to put on our armor and be alert. In Ephesians 6:10 through 18, finally be strong in the Lord and His mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggles is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of the evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you've done everything to stand, stand firm. Then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, and the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition, all of this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions and all kinds of prayers and requests with this in mind. Be alert and always keep praying for all the saints. We must constantly use our orders. Lance Corporal Graham, what are our orders?
The Bible.
We must be ready at a moment's notice. One thing we must never, never, ever do is try to do this battle alone. We were not called to do that. Hebrews 10:25 says, "Let us not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." As men of God and members of the Lord's army, we have the support and the resources of our brothers in arms, the men in our church and fellow believers. One of these resources God has given us is the Honor Bound Men's Sunday School class. And I will not harp on you about this, but I want to say that in this class it is not only about learning about God. It is also about supporting men who are going through battles that you may have already gone through. It is about how to deal with daily and real issues that we have here in our church, our town, and our family. Your presence in this house can have a life-changing effect on another man. Let God use you. You've been given an envelope. And inside this envelope is a paper like this. If you open it up, it's got some information about the Promise Keepers and how to order it. And it's also got some information on the men's class. In the men's class, we're going to be starting a new book. It's called Way of the Wild Heart. If some of you men who went through the class called Wild at Heart, this is the second edition to it. I also want to point out that on April 7th at 5 p.m. at the Police Activity League Center, our pastor is going to be there with his boys with the boxing. I'd like to get some guys there to support them and show them through. And we're talking about wearing red shirts. This exercise is non-classified. You are not to keep quiet about it. You are to tell as many men as possible so that you may join us, so that they may join us in this exercise. If you are caught, you will not be disavowed, and this church will still claim you. I'm in the Lord's army. Whose army are you in? I look forward to serving with you in this endeavor. We are in the process of getting ready to reserve the rooms for this function. There's a sign-in sheet on the back on the table. List your name, phone number, and email address if you're interested in going. There's also a section that if you need assistance, please check, and we will do what we can to help you. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to serving you with this endeavor.